Excellent. Well, let's get started. Looks like we also have, maybe is that Han joining?
Yes, she's connecting.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we are going to start right away. And if you don't mind, we are, hopefully, does anybody have Susan has a flag. We can have a flag right there. We can stand up and place our hands on our hearts and simply say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Flag
of the United States of America
America,
and to the republic for which it
for which it
stands,
stands,
one nation,
under God,
indivisible,
with
liberty
liberty
and
and
justice
justice
for
for all.
Welcome, everyone. If we start getting feedback, check to make sure that your mute button needs to be kicked in. Otherwise, you can leave yourself unmuted if you want, as long as we're not getting feedback. But the minute you are, you might see me hit a button that says unmute or mute everything. But we want to be able to get as much interaction as possible. When people need to clap for a speaker, feel free to unmute yourself and clap. It's easy. You move your hand and people can hear you. And then you hit the mute button again if you want. That way you're able to encourage one another, get as much of a real life experience online as possible. I want to invite our guests to introduce themselves quickly and just tell us what drew them here. The first guest that I see is David. David, would you please introduce yourself and tell us what draws you here tonight?
Well, I was invited by Avi. Thank you. I am very, I very much think that Toastmasters, as you can see, I'm having a hard time, is valuable. And you really want to encourage people to do this. And in fact, I'd like to maybe be a member myself at some point because I think it's just a great skill to have. So thank you for having me.
Perfect, perfect. All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Great job introducing yourself. That's the hardest part. The first time I had to introduce myself, my heart was beating so hard I couldn't imagine trying to talk. It was really, really hard. Somebody putting me on the spot, but it helped me to get out of my shell just by a little bit. And I said, if I can do that, maybe I can do another one. And believe it or not, it came to impromptu speaking, and they were nutty enough to say, Anthony, can you participate as an impromptu speaker? And I almost fainted, but somehow I managed to get through it. We also have another guest, I believe. Is it Sirisha? If you can put your video on, it would help for everyone to see you on video, just like we're live. If you're not on video, it's easier for you to turn yourself off and not be as active. Sirisha, are you joining us today as a guest, making sure that you are able to talk? Can you hear us okay? I see the name Sirisha Stripada. And that big S must be like Superman or Superwoman. And I'm not sure. I don't hear Sirisha.
She's on mute.
Yes, I have unmuted him or her.
She's joining from California.
From California, perfect. Well, when she can, would you please introduce yourself? With that, I am going to hand this meeting over to our Toastmaster of the day. Tiffany, please feel free to take it over.
Thank you, Anthony. Welcome, everyone. If you have some red, show me your red. I see lots of shirts. I've seen, yes, red timer buttons, everything. A phone. I asked everyone to wear red just to get us all in the same mindset today. There's two special things that happen. There is Military Appreciation Month, and we also just celebrated Memorial Day. These are two opportunities that give us the chance to honor those who have either given through serving in the military, or they've given the ultimate sacrifice through fighting for our country. So I wanted to really pay attention and recognize that today by asking us to wear red. Also, there's a red poppy. The red poppy was the flower that used to grow around the graves in Flanders Field. You might say, what is Flanders Field? Flanders Field is the name given to a World War I battleground it spans between Belgium and France. And it makes me think of a poem by John McCrae. In Flanders Field, the poppies blow between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky, the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead, short days ago, we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow. Loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Field. Take up our quarrel with the flow, to you from failing hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders Field. Today I'll honor two heroes during the meeting, and we have a treat because James will also honor another one. So I'd like to ask you to brace yourself as you'll receive some real history tonight. This is going to be a semi-standard Toastmasters meeting where we'll have prepared speeches and evaluations. We will not have any impromptu speeches, but our guests will get an opportunity to share about the meeting towards the end. And we have quite an array of people on the call that have volunteered. So we hope to hear from everyone tonight. Before we get started, I'd like to turn the meeting over to our general evaluator so he can introduce his team. Hola, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Today, I'm pleased to be your general evaluator. And in order to do this, I have a team of people that are going to be helping me to evaluate the meeting. Our role is to make sure we check how the meeting is going and give you a feedback at the end of the meeting. And each of these roles gives us opportunity to practice our speaking skills and also our leadership skills as members of this club. So the first person that will be helping me to evaluate this meeting is our grammarian. May I introduce Camille to introduce herself and what she'll be doing for us today. Camille, go ahead.
Good evening, thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I will take note of any improper language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word is solipsism. I'm going to put it up here. Solipsism, which means a non-standard or ungrammatical usage. An example of using the word is as unflammable and there was. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. I will give the grammarian's report when called upon during the meeting and also report on the usage of the word of the day. Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Camille. Our next functionary is the R counter, and today our R counter is Susan. Susan, can you introduce yourself and your role, please?
Yes, thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. My role as the R counter is to count the number of unnecessary sound or repetitive words you use when you are speaking as a speaker tonight. For example, so, you know, I mean, will be counted. These are the filler words that would be affecting your effectiveness in delivering your speech. I will be giving a report when called upon after the speeches. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Susan. And the next functionary is our timer. Our timer today is Ohe. Ohe, can you go ahead and introduce yourself and what you'll be helping us to do in this meeting?
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Yes, as a timer, I will be timing table topics, speakers times, basically by using, showing you a green card. I hope you can see it very well. Pay attention to that one. A yellow card or a red card, and that will be for the prepared speeches, will be at 5 minutes, 6 minutes, and 7 minutes. And for the evaluations will be at 2 minutes and 3 minutes. So those will be the cards that I will be showing. So when you see them on the screen in front of my face, that's what your timing is telling you to be ready. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jorge. The next functionary is the ballot counter. We have no one for the ballot counter, so I'm going to be standing in as the ballot counter. Yeah.
We do. I'm sorry. We do. I didn't tell you. It's Erica. She volunteers.
Hi, Erica. Sorry about that. I said the chat earlier. Okay, so you will be a ballot counter. I want you to introduce yourself and what you're going to help us to do in this meeting, Erica.
Good evening. My name is Erica Sanchalty. I will be stepping in as your ballot counter this evening. So when it is time to choose the winners for each category, which will be speakers and evaluations, please send me a private message in the chat box, and I will return at the end of the meeting and announce the winners. Thank you.
Everyone, if you don't know, Erica is our area director, and she is joining us today to see how we're doing, to help us out any way she can, but also to fill out an evaluation report on our club for the whole district to see. So be on your best behavior.
Thank you, Erica. Thank you for joining us. So those are the functionaries that will be helping us for today's meeting. At the end of the prepared speeches, we will come back and we will give you our evaluation of how the meeting goes. And thank you very much and looking forward to a wonderful meeting. I'll turn it over back to our Toastmaster, Stephanie.